Blessed one, welcome to the Healing Streams Reflections. The title for today's post is Celebrating a Personal Promise at Christmas. For most people, the most significant thing about Christmas is visiting with relatives could seem particularly important to them. Others might regard the season's atmosphere of goodwill as most noteworthy. But Christmas is far more than just an event or a December holiday with time off from work. It is a personal promise from God to mankind or humanity. The significance of this special day is told by Matthew in the first chapter. An angel of the Lord told Joseph that Mary, his betrothed, will bear a son conceived of the Holy Spirit. He instructed Joseph to name the child Jesus, Matthew 1:21, and announced that the birth will fulfill Isaiah's prophecy. They shall call his name Emmanuel, which translated means God with us. Matthew chapter 1 verse 23, referring to Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14. Friends, the unborn child already had a predetermined name, which indicated who he was and what he was to do. As we examine the two names in Matthew chapter 1 passage, especially Matthew chapter 1 verse 21 to 23, Jesus and Emmanuel, we are beginning to understand what really took place that night our Savior was born. The name Jesus is the more familiar one. It is a Greek transliteration of the Old Testament Hebrew word Joshua, meaning the Lord is salvation. When the angel said, "You shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins," Matthew 1:21, he was pointing to the significance of that original Christmas God provided for your sin and mine, as well as for the sin of the whole world, past, present, and future. Beloved, 700 years before Christ's birth, Isaiah's prophecy was a word of hope and encouragement to Judah as it faced a great crisis. The prophet's message was an indication of what God was about to do then, as well as what would ultimately be fulfilled in the Messiah's advent. Emmanuel, a name full of promise, was God's way of answering the Old Testament saints, and we as well. He was with them, and he is with us. Taken together, these two names embrace or encompass what we need our entire life. Jesus, the pardoner of our sins, and Emmanuel, the divine presence within us to help and guide every moment of every day. The names and the promises built in or inherent in them are the foundation for every facet of the Christian life. Therefore, the method God engineered in that first Christmas to fulfill the promises of Jesus in Emmanuel was a term familiar to us all, was the incarnation. This means on the night Christ was born, the eternal God, motivated by love, entered into the human family. He was supernaturally conceived of the Holy Spirit and physically born to a virgin. As a result, Jesus never ceased to be God, and he remained perfectly sinless in his being. Beloved, if the incarnation did not take place exactly as it did, then we will still be living in our sin. According to Scripture, the punishment for sin is death, as Romans chapter 6, verse 23 informs us. The Bible also says that Jesus, because of his absolute sinlessness, is the only one who could save us by offering himself. So payment for our sin debt. Back in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve fell, sin tainted the entire human race. Therefore, you and I could not die for each other's trespasses, because we ourselves have transgressed against God and owe the penalty that must be paid. For that reason, Philippians chapter 2, verse 6 to 8 explains that in order to redeem mankind, God chose to humble himself in the person of Jesus Christ, taking on the form of a bond servant. That is, the Almighty Sovereign of this universe voluntarily laid aside his glory so that he could be born physically like any other baby. Being conceived of the Holy Spirit, he did not inherit the sin nature and was therefore able to offer himself as the acceptable, perfect sacrifice for our sin that required. Beloved, as wonderful as it is, was that Christ willingly came to die for our sins, he also promised us his presence, which was fulfilled in the birth of Emmanuel. Jesus was God with us, the incarnate deity who physically lived and walked among men to show us what the Heavenly Father is like. My brother and my sister, far better than God simply being with me is God being in me, God being for me, God being to me, and God through me. And that is his promise to every believer this Christmas season. The incomparable, supernatural, immeasurable God will take up residence inside us and be everything we need. Beloved, may this eternal promise strengthen and encourage you to overcome any challenges in this Christmas season, as the wonderful promise of God's redemption and presence bring hope, joy, and peace, as Jesus, our salvation, promises He is with us always to the end of the age. Celebrate joyfully as you fulfill the promises of Jesus and Emmanuel. Happy Christmas and stay joyful, like blessed. Bye for now.